Okay, here we are on the 11th of January. I wasn't going to do a video today, however, I've decided to come out for a birthday walk. My real fitness thing, he doesn't really start for another couple of days until Monday, but it's a nice blustery day today, so we thought we'd come and have a walk down Widmouth Bay in North Cornwall. So we're just out for a nice little walk, probably about 3 or 4 miles, and my wife actually got me a fitness tracker watch for my birthday, so I've got that on, and it'd be interesting to see how that can help me on my journey. So I'll give you a little shot of the view, and I'll see you next time. Good morning all, Sunday January the 12th. Wasn't planning on doing any exercise today really, but here we are. We're on Dartmoor National Park in Devon today. We just did a little spontaneous walk, probably an hour or so. So yeah, get some exercise today after all. Had a really great birthday yesterday, but I do need to burn off some calories. So I'll give you a little view of what's to come, and I'll show you what it's like at the top if we make it out there. And we probably are going to get wet today. I can feel the rain coming. Okay, so we've made it to the top of the park we wanted to get to anyway. It's just like an old granite outcrop on Dartmoor, so we've never made it this far up actually, because I've got, I've got a little boy. It's quite a long way for him to come. But you get it today, that's fine. You're going to get absolutely soaked because it's tipping it down. But before I go head back down to the car, I just want to show you quickly what I'm seeing up here. It's lovely. Love living around here. Time to get back down. Just in case you're wondering, the car we're heading back to is all the way over there. That's quite a trek actually. It's now Monday afternoon, and now is the first day really of my exercise regime, so can't really dodge it today. Unfortunately the weather today is absolutely appalling. Hope you can hear me. If I just bring up the BBC weather app, you can see that this is the state of play today. Very, very nasty today, so I'm not taking the bike out today. There's, according to this, 55-mile-an-hour winds, and I've seen on the internet that could be gusting up to about 70 miles an hour today, so don't really fancy the bike, so walking it is today. Had a really nice birthday weekend, got a couple of bits of exercise done, which was the bonus really. So I'm just going to walk down to the post office now. It's only about 1¼ miles, it's not too far. Downhill all the way, uphill all the way back. I've got my shorts on, which might seem a bit silly seeing as it's freezing out and tipping it down, well, on and off tipping it down with rain. It's very, very windy. I didn't want to get my trousers wet because I've got to go back into the unit and do a couple of hours more work when I get back, so it'd be nice to get back and put some dry trousers on. I've got to change his shoes and all the rest of the stuff there. So I'm just going to get on with it and hopefully not get blown over. It is pretty nasty, but it's actually quite good fun as well. Don't mind getting wet really. Okay, so I'm now back in the warmth of the man cave and my units, and this is where we've got to today. So 2.6 miles, it's nothing to write home about, but it's better than not doing it, it's better than driving down there, so let's see what tomorrow brings. Okay, here we are, and you find me on Tuesday, Tuesday the 14th of January I guess, and here we are again with horrible weather. Check this out again. 60-mile-an-hour winds with higher gusts, so it's particularly nasty again today. I'm actually in a bit of a rush to get down to the post office today. Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays I have to leave work at 2:30 to go and pick my lad up from school. So I only have a short day midweek. Mondays and Fridays I can have a very long day if I get up early enough, but today's a short day, and I'm endeavouring to get down the post office. I have to go and fix something on my wife's car as well while I'm down there. Luckily she works just around the corner from the post office, so I'm going to get on with that, and hopefully I don't get too drenched. I've had to put on some clothes from yesterday which is still soaked, but no pain no gain, right? Okay, that was a fairly unpleasant walk in the wind. Don't mind getting wet so much, but I'm not a massive fan of the wind. You know that from when I was riding my bike previously. Wind is a bit of a nemesis of mine, but never mind. Here's how we got up to today. 2.8 miles, so I'm quite happy with that. The weather is meant to be much improved tomorrow, so I'm hoping to get out on my bike. I'm probably going to have to pop up to Argos and grab something that I've ordered as well, so that'll be a little bit further on the bike tomorrow. So fingers crossed for better weather tomorrow. Okay, it's Wednesday afternoon. A bit less windy today. Still very blustery, but nowhere near as bad as it was the last couple of days. And it's fairly dry. A little rain shower a while ago, but it's set to be clear for the next hour or so. So I'm going down the post office. A couple of other little errands to run as well. So I should probably get about 4 miles out of it, perhaps, something like that. So it's not very far, but it's better than driving the car. It is blooming freezing. Woo. Okay, post office done. Jeez, it's really windy. It's hard work even riding on the flat into it, but I'm now going up a big hill out of the car park at some of these beach. It's going to test my legs a little. Stop talking so I can breathe. Actually, the hill wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Next stop, Argos, to pick up something I ordered a couple of days ago, which handy is just at the top of this hill. Okay, bit of a fail. The box from Argos was too big for my bag, so I'll have to go back and get that later in the car. Still burnt a few more calories. Now off to another shop to drop off a parcel that's going back. That's just down the bottom of the tap. Okay, parcel now dropped off. Just heading back to the unit. Currently going up the big hill that goes all the way back up there. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Good little bit of exercise. My legs are a bit toast still. Walking up on dartboard the other day probably didn't help, but no pain, no gain, right? Let's keep going. Okay, since I had to drive back into Bude to collect that parcel from Argos, I thought I'd show you how I got on my ride today. 4.66 miles. Says I burnt 240 calories, which is pretty good. So anyway, seeing as I had to drive back into Bude, I thought I'd come and show you a little bit of Crooklets Beach in Bude, which is beautiful normally. You can see the weather's been wild lately. But yeah, I sometimes go surfing here, mainly over in this direction, which is Summerlees Beach. But today this is Crooklets, check it out. Welcome to Bude. Okay, it's Thursday morning and time's about 8:45 in the morning, and I've just dropped my little lad off at school. He goes to school in a little village that I live in Devon, and Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, due to my wife's work commitments, I have to collect him and drop him off in the morning, which gives me a pretty short day. However, as we got into last summer, I started walking him to school and back just to get a little bit of exercise. And gradually, over a number of weeks, I started running. There's a short route which is about 1/4 mile, and a longer route which is quite hilly, and had to be approaching half a mile. And you know, after a few weeks I was able to run it. I was dead afterwards, but now I've got my busy period out of the way at work, I've just started doing that again, so not running it just yet, but it's a good little bit of exercise before I get to work in the morning. Whew. Which I do miss in the winter, but sadly in the winter I'm in such a rush to get to work because I'm so busy, particularly when my short days in the middle of the week. I just have to drive into work so I can get out there quick. But a bit quieter now, so I'll be doing this every day, burn those calories, because after all, every mile is worthwhile. Hey guys, now Thursday afternoon, and I'm just about to head down to the post office. The weather again today, after yesterday's beautiful blue skies, is hideous. If I take a look at the weather app again, in Bude, you can see it's 56 or 55, let's say, mile per hour winds, and it's absolutely wanging it down outside. So I don't know if I'll get a chance to do any video outside because it'll be very blustery. But today I'll be trying out some new shoes which I picked up at the charity shop. Now I wouldn't normally buy some second-hand shoes from a charity shop, but they were like £2 and they're basically brand new. So I'm going to give those a shot. They're the right size for me. I have actually got some blisters on my feet from walking on down to the post office the last few days, not yesterday, in the rain, where I've got soaking wet feet. So I've got a couple of blisters on my feet. Hopefully I won't regret this, but I'm going to head down there now and give them a shot, see how comfy they are. And I've also today received in the post something else that might be quite interesting for me to help with my fitness a little bit. So I'll talk to you a little bit about that later. It appears I may have got a lucky break. Just before I left, it was absolutely bucketing it down, and since I've been out, dry as a bone, which is good really, because the coat I've got is only water resistant. So the last 2 times I've been out in the rain, I've been getting a soaking. So I'll have to try and find my waterproof cycling jacket. Hope you can hear me, by the way, it's very windy. So obviously now I'm walking up King's Hill in Bude. It's not particularly steep, but it goes on a bit. And today the wind has turned around 180 degrees. A full-on headwind today. So it's proving quite hard work. And the wind is blustery, so constantly getting thrown around. So I think my leg muscles are going to ache a bit today from just balancing. Whew. Nearly there. So that's another lunchtime walk done. Managed to cover 2.63 miles today. Took about 42 minutes really, so it's about the same as it is normally. That hill at the end, coming up there with that full-blown headwind was hard work. But I suppose it's a little bit of extra exercise walking into that. So that's all good. There we go, that's what it's looking like. Also, I saw a few days ago, a couple of weeks ago, a product on a voucher website that looked quite interesting. I was looking for that kind of thing anyway. So I've managed to pick this up. I hope you can see that. It was about £10 and shipped from China, and it's like some exercise straps. So I'm going to find somewhere in my unit to fix those up, and should be worth a laugh when I have a go on that. So I'm actually walking the long way round today to collect Sam from school. Again, it's not very far, it's the same route we did this morning when I dropped him off, just the other way round. I'm actually starting to really enjoy this walking. I've got a few chafes going on, which are not very pleasant, but just one of those things, I suppose. See you tomorrow. Well guys, that's it, it's Friday morning, so I'm just about to do my weigh for this week. It's been the first weigh. Don't know really what to expect today. I think it's safe to say I didn't really start this properly until the Monday, as it was my birthday at the weekend, and there was a bit of a feast at the weekend, I'll be honest with you. But now, as the week's gone on, all of the sweets and food that I've got, whatever, you know, I've got a lot of sweets for my birthday, that's all gone now, you know, I've spread them out around the family, so I've got no more bad food in the house. So it'd be interesting to see what the weigh is this week. I'd like for it to have gone down, but who knows. So let's just get on with it, and I'll be back in a few moments, and you know, we'll see how we got on. Okay, let's get weighed. Okay, so that says 124.4 kilos. Excellent. Well, you saw it for yourself. My weight at the start of the week, this time last week actually, Friday, was 125.3 kilos, and today it's 124.4 kilos. So I'm really chuffed with that. That does represent a 0.9 kilogram loss of weight this week, even with a blowout at the weekend. So I'm absolutely made up with that. So anyway, so that's week 1 out of the way. What will we be doing in the next week? Well, in the next video I'll be covering a few apps I found on my phone which will I think will be really helpful for me logging my progress and spurring me on to you know, do a little bit more exercise or whatever. So I'll be covering those next week as well. I'm actually out for some exercise this afternoon. I've set aside a bit of time, so you'll have to tune in next week to see what I'm up to. I've got a little scheme going on, something I'd like to do personally, which I think will be something really good for me to aim for. So I'll be getting on with that this afternoon, hopefully. It does look like rain, obviously. Live in England, so I'm just going to have to grin and bear it, really. I've got a little bit of a chafe going on downstairs, which is not very pleasant, it has to be said. But can't let things like that stop you, otherwise you will never get anything done. So thanks for tuning in. Please, if you haven't already, do a subscribe. I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers, I think. That's bonkers. And also you can follow me on Instagram. I've got a Facebook page set up and all that sort of stuff, and my hope is with a Facebook page, etc., that I can get a group of people in a similar situation to myself who can all talk and compare their efforts and all that sort of stuff. So do get involved. I'll put a link below in the description. So thanks for tuning in this week, and I'll see you again next week.